These are the guys where they put the Miami rule in that said you can't celebrate after you score a touchdown and you cannot celebrate after you get a sack. I mean, it was actually called the Miami rule. When we sat down and we watched that film of the new rules changes, it was all us. And they man, I'll never forget people laughing so hard. That was an organized chaos though, because like I heard somebody say about drinking with Dennis Erickson. Phenomenal coach, but a very loose ship he ran. Very loose ship. To put it professionally, very loose ship.
But this is the first time they stacked, man. I think they run through the ACC.
I haven't seen talent like this since my days, and even during the 2001, 2002 days, Butch had stacked a lot of talent before Larry Coker took over.
Yep.
In my days, we're talking about as a freshman, as an 18-year-old kid, I got to see Russell Maryland and Leon Searcy go against each other. Yeah. All of our receivers, if you ran a 4.5, you probably weren't on the field. And when
was Randall Hill on that team? Randall Hill?
We had like
Lamar Thomas.
Receivers were Lamar Thomas, Horace Copeland, Kevin Williams, and Darryl Spencer. I mean, these guys could flat out fly. These are the guys where they put the Miami rule in that said you can't celebrate after you score a touchdown and you cannot celebrate after you get a sack. I mean, it was actually called the Miami rule. When we sat down and we watched that film of the new rules changes, it was all us. And I'll never forget people laughing so hard. That was an organized chaos though, because like I heard somebody say about drinking with Dennis Erickson. Phenomenal coach, but a very loose ship he ran. Very loose ship. To put it professionally, very loose ship.
So would you say, Finesse, would you say like what's the same now, it seems like, with the Miami Hurricanes team? It's a player-led team, because if you got a loose coach, it seems like the players really pushed each other when you were there.
When I was there, it was out of vanity. It feels like this year with Mario Cristobal, it's out of brotherhood.
Got you.
We knew we were brothers back then, but there was literally maybe 3 or 4 fights in a season before the game started in the locker room. We fought each other before we went on stage. Before they went out there on the field, before they ran through the smoke. And it was literally over something non-football related. Who's dating who? It was the craziest stuff going on. Rohan Marley would ride his motorcycle on the practice field. It would just be stuff that you hadn't seen before. He would answer a cell phone. He's the first you'd ever seen with a cell phone besides Ricardo Tubbs. Remember the cell phone that you have in a pocket?
Yeah.
You had to carry the purse and there was a cell phone in the purse. No, he had that blocked cell phone. Let me tell you something. It was so much going on during that day. As we all know, Uncle Luke, 2 Live Crew, he was heavily involved with the players back then because he was a superstar back then. And a lot of those players couldn't eat. They didn't have NIL. They was getting $35 for the weekend to last them for the weekend. Well, you spend $35 in one lunch. You know what I mean? So, just to see how far football has come in college football and see where the program has come. But what I will say about Miami, Mario Cristobal, who was our starting right tackle, I believe, at the time when I was there, and his brother was on the other side, Louis Cristobal.
Yep.
Looking at Mario now, of course, what everybody says, he has no problem selling Miami. He has no problem selling anybody anything when it comes to motivating somebody. If you want your kid to be motivated, Mario will get in that kitchen and all of a sudden your kid want to run through a wall for Mario. But what I do see is that there is a huge investment back into the program financially. There is a huge investment back into the staff. There is a commitment that everybody's on the same page when it comes to where we're going in a 5-year, 6-year plan. You know what I mean? I'll be very shocked if somebody jump ship, who knows? Dawson, Andrew, who knows, whatever. But this team, Michael, these guys are competing and they won't face a lot of competition that they faced in practice. And that's how it used to be. And I think that's what's going to be the difference this year.